All right, court is calling 2024 CR 0452, State of Texas versus Tricia Harrison. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris-Sandlin.
Defense,
Abelardo Garza.
are you Miss Harrison?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Harrison, did you review the document entitled application
Yes.
for community supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Harrison, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against
I
her?
believe so, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Harrison, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $1,000 fine and the state recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
That is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
The offer that I made to defense counsel was that the $1,000 fine was probated and should be included on the part of the paper, Your Honor.
All right, if you all want to write that in there. All right, other than that addition, did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
So the agreement is that the fine will be probated. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Be contained in Exhibit 1 of its evidence, Your Honor.
No objections, Your Honor.
Right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? And did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, the state would not be presenting any live witnesses?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we'd ask to waive PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Well, Your Honor, she understands what she did. She's taking full responsibility. We're asking the court to follow you.
What happened to your arm?
I was on drugs and, you know what I'm saying, I had maggots in my arms. I was in the hospital. I passed away and I had surgery.
Okay.
It's not,
And how old are you?
I'm 33.
Do you have any children?
Woman.
All right. Who is your support system? Do you have family here?
Yes.
What family do you have here?
I have my mom.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yes. I got a brother.
How many?
I have one.
One
Yes.
brother? And where is he?
He's from his family. He's
Okay.
married and everything.
Okay. So why did you start using? Do you know?
Yes, my mom left me under the bridge when I was younger and I grew up in the streets basically.
Okay. And how old were you when your mom left you?
17.
So the person who was with you by the name of Stephen Rivera, do you know him or no? You're gonna have to say yes or no.
No.
Okay. And let me mute us for a moment. It's not my intent to embarrass you, but I firmly believe that you need drug rehab. And so I'm trying to figure out in my mind what program would be best for you. Because I mean, you're not going to be released from custody today. You're going into a rehab center because I think she needs that. Heroin is a hard drug to stop using. I remember watching these documentaries. I think they may still do them. They used to do them on, I think, VH1. And it was about the 80s bands and how much drugs they were using. And the band member, who is the lead singer from Aerosmith, Steven Tyler?
Steven Tyler.
Yeah. Steven Tyler was on, and Steven Tyler, I think, was on heroin. He kicked the habit, right? But he said he was watching a program, and in that program, somebody had died from a heroin overdose. And he said the first thing that came to his mind was, that must have been some good heroin. And he said that drugs tend to mess with your mind like that. You know, it releases endorphins or something that it does that makes you feel great, right? To get away from your problems. And then there were other band members, they call them the 80s hair band. And I don't even know why they were doing this. They said they were shooting up alcohol. Can you imagine taking like Jack Daniels and shooting up Jack Daniels? They said they were just doing everything, and they're lucky that any of them survived. So I know that heroin is hard to quit. I know that having a near-death experience the way you had it, you're probably like, that's it for me. I'm never going to do it again. But it's easy for that to be it for you and never do it again if you're in lockdown. Because once you're released, you end up going back around the same people, places, and things. I don't know if your mom has changed or not, but you're telling me your mom left you underneath a bridge at 17. And now you're telling me your support system is your aunt and your mom.
Yeah. I
Maybe
barely
she's
got-
changed. Yeah. So this is what I'm going to do. Court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 4 years. Counsel, if she completes everything successfully, of course, I consider terminating her early. There's $1,000 fine probated. She is to remain in custody for the following evaluations: TAP evaluation. Esperanza Court. And felony drug court. Those are all to be done in custody, and this is the order I want it done. Number one will be felony drug court. Number two will be Esperanza Court. And of course, the TAP evaluation, if need be, it can run concurrent with that. If for any reason she is not accepted into Esperanza Court or felony drug court, then I want her brought back to court and we're going to see what we're going to do. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There is to be the UA hotline until further notice. And how far did you go in school?
9th grade,
All right. Is there a reason why you dropped out at 9th grade?
my mom withdrew me.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are your hopes, your dreams?
To stay clean and sober, get a job in society again.
All right. So what type of employment do you want? What do you want to do?
I want to do.
I know I'm putting you on the spot,
It's
but
okay.
this is what I want you to do. I want you to think about what you want to do employment wise with your life. You can always start with your hopes and your dreams. Some people like, hey, I want to be president of the United States. Okay. If people stand before me and tell me they want to be president of the United States, or they want to be a doctor or a teacher, or whatever they want to do, if they want to work at McDonald's, my next question is going to be, what steps are you taking to make yourself
To reapply for social security office and
Mhm.
to go to get my food stamps and try to get back, like I said, in society.
all right. So you're going to have to get an education in something.
Yes,
So either trade school or either go back and get your GED.
get my GP.
All right, so I'm gonna order 200 hours of community service restitution. 100 hours will be waived if she obtains her GED or if she's in some sort of trade school. We'll do a mental health evaluation, and that can be in custody. Yes. Proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors, and that's within 45 days of release. Field visits, one time per month for 6 months. And that's upon release from custody. And there's going to be 180 sober meetings in 180 days. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, okay? Take care of yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
We can go off the record. If there's an issue when you're released, talk to probation about it. If you think you're going to use, pick up the phone, call your probation officer and say, I think I'm going to use. What they'll do is they'll try to help you. If you feel like they're not helping you, come back to court and I will, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a seat.
I'll be excused, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thanks, sir.